Hi, Enreina Rizkiasri. Thank you for coming on to the podcast for 8 Values. So audience, she is a front-end software engineer from Indonesia, and she recently joined Givery. Enreina, can you introduce yourself and tell the audience what you do at Givery?
Of course. Thank you for having me, Yohei. My name is Enreina. I work as a front-end software engineer in Givery as part of it's called track test team. So essentially, my team built a hiring platform to help engineers apply for a job through taking an exam on our platform. So that's basically a small part of what Givery does. And I'm a front-end engineer, so I mainly work on the user touching interface of the platform. That's basically it. Yeah.
So you said you worked on Track. Can you tell us a bit about the mission or the goal of what Track is trying to do?
Yeah, so we have the motto of empower engineering. As an engineer as engineer, we know how are challenging for us to find a job, right?
Yeah.
And the mission of the Track platform is to help both companies and also engineers to find a match between the two. So companies can hire the best talent available on the market, and engineers can also find the suitable companies that's the best environment that they work for working as an engineer. So yeah, that's basically our mission.
Cool.
Yeah.
So as a front-end software engineer on the Track team at Givery, what does your day-to-day look like?
Usually it's more the team mainly work on scrum methodology. So it's a 2-week sprint. So depending on is it the end of the sprint or start of the sprint? For example, at the start of the sprint, I usually clarify some tasks that are assigned to me. Ideally, it's already clear what to do, of course, but sometimes it's not as clear. So I usually clarify things to the product owner, designers, or maybe some back-end engineers, the back-end API spec that I need to confirm when I'm working on some features. Once that's clarified, I usually just try to implement it as quick as possible, not really optimized and stuff like that, and probably put it up for review for other front-end engineers to review it, and also for product owner or designers to ensure the feature that's implemented are conforming to the feature acceptance criteria. There will be some unclear lingos that I throw out there, but yeah, that's basically my day-to-day job, at least until now. Yeah.
Cool. So can you talk a little bit about how often are you expected to provide status updates, or does your role as a front-end engineer after you get the ticket, does it need or have a lot of oversight, or
basically when you're assigned for an ideal ticket, ideal task, there should not be too many interference from stakeholders. It's already a ticket, so it's already cleared. But sometimes there are just things updates, try to confirm, is this the right criteria? That's where usually we have a daily stand-up. So that's where usually we raise some concerns or some blockers or some unclear requirements in that daily stand-up, and whether we want to make a separate discussion, a deeper discussion outside of the stand-up, or is it already clear enough? Something like that. So it's not that often. So I'd say it's a daily stand-up is around only 15 minutes for 5 engineers right now. But usually it will expand to a Slack. We use Slack as a messaging platform, a Slack thread to clarify some requirements and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And do you know how Givery decides on which features to implement, or how they know that they're working on the right things for their users?
Yeah, a really good question. I think, so what Givery as a engineer hiring platform is a bit different from other competitors is that we work directly to companies as our customers. So they're the customer success team are the ones that actually collects users' requests, users' feedback, user bug reports, and then it went through to our product owner. And then the product owner will try to prioritize which requests or bug reports are like more having more impact in the future. Like how many customers does the request coming from? Like how many companies? And yeah, after like the prioritization and it's like the requirements gathering are done, it's usually assigned to the engineering team, and we make it true, right? Realizing the requested feature.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I think earlier you said that you spoke with product owners a lot to hammer out the requirements for sure, and then that you guys use Slack as well. With your teammates, like other engineers and the people on the team, what else do you usually discuss on the Slack channels?
I think the most most often discussion happening in Stack Turner is mostly like from front end to back end engineers. Like usually front end team want this kind of API spec, and then back end team try to try to find a middle ground that's like best, like makes everyone happy for both back end and front end. That's like the most often discussion that I have been involved in. There's also some front end specific, like even things like UI, UX and stuff like that. Even though we're engineers, and right now we already have designers which are dedicated to handle this UI, UX thing. But sometimes front end engineers also have some opinions or some suggestion to designers. That's where engineers and product designer and product owners try to find an agreement, which is the UX, UI, UX that's best for the customers. Of course, before the feature is released, we actually don't know, right? Like what's best to the customer. That's where when we are a bit confused on which direction to make, we just take one and then go for it. We try not to block anyone through this endless discussion on Slack. So that's what we're trying to do.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's really wonderful to hear that everyone's working together, especially with product designers, back end, front end. That sounds awesome. I'd like to, change gears a little bit to one of the values here at Givery. I know that give and give is a big value here.
Yeah.
Can you explain why that's important at Givery?
I think as an engineering team, and not just engineering, but as a team as a whole, we kind of want to give our best in everything, but it's not to the extent that everyone is really stressed or really ambitious of doing their best but exceeding their actual capability. So it's more okay, I'm as part of the Givery team, I would like to contribute to this platform that would empower other engineers out there. So it's kind of hey, I'm also an engineer and I want to give something to the engineering community. I think the company is the best thing that facilitate that kind of opportunity. You can give something to the community through building stuff here. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Is there a specific aspect of Givery's culture that you personally really like? That's important to you?
Yeah, actually, this is my first company that I think all the people here are really good at what they're doing, but at the same time, they're also not very rigid. They're very, very friendly. I haven't found anyone that's not friendly in this company. And yeah, although everyone is trying to give their best in their capability, no one is feeling pressure to especially in engineering team. I haven't seen that many overworking, overtime, doing some kind of engineering. Even in Slack, we kind of have this notion that, oh, I know it's his end of the day. So even though we sent him or her a message to check on something, we can like just tell him, just please check first thing tomorrow morning, not today. It's okay. Unless it's a like critical thing, but it's really rare. I haven't seen that. Yeah.
And do you have an idea of like what you think contributes to this like team camaraderie? You said everyone's good and nice. Do you know why that is, or do you have any like ideas of how that came to be?
Okay, so I think the first one is because like even before I joined, like through the team interview, I already have that friendly sense of thing from the teams, and that like like when everybody's nice, you want to try to be nice too, right? Sure. It's really hard to be like be that bad person and trying to be like be negative and all the time. So it's kind of like a chicken and egg problem, I guess. But I think this is like what I heard from the hiring process here, that we also like do value personality. Of course, we're looking for skill, like person with skills, but personality also matters here. So if you like that kind of like friendly atmosphere kind of engineering team, I think Givery is the place. Yeah, so far that's like my observation. Yeah.
Okay, this sounds completely wonderful. By the way, can we talk a little bit about just personal growth in terms of how a company can support that? Like when you think about the Enreina that joined and the Enreina now, have you had the opportunity to work on any hard or soft skills that you wanted to develop?
Yeah, because this is a Japanese this is my first Japanese company that I've been working in. I personally wanted to improve my Japanese language skill, but at the same time, I didn't have the enough Japanese skill to work at like a 100% Japanese speaking company. I think Givery really facilitate that middle ground where, like, even though the engineering team mostly uses English, our product owner speaks both English and Japanese. That's where she helps like translating between the business side and the product side. But yeah, even like on Slack channel, there are like requests coming from customer, for example, it's written in Japanese, and for like employee gathering, there are Japanese only speaking employees, and it kind of like helps me to like bridge the gap now. Like I learn more lingo here, like engineering lingo, for example, or even like other random words I also like got the chance to learn here. So I think it's a really like best environment if you're interested in like both doing engineering thing and also like improve your Japanese language skill. Yeah.
Cool. Can you describe the relationship between, I guess, the Japanese teams and then the English-speaking engineering teams? Apart from the Slack channels, what kind of interactions do they have, and what is the relationship between the Japanese team and the international engineering team?
Yeah. Honestly, from like my short like experience here, it's mostly on Slack channel, but there's some social gathering like after tea, after office party, after office gathering, and those things like sometimes we try to like cross the language barrier there. There are more people, more Japanese people who wants to like improve their English, and there are also like more English only like non-Japanese speaker people, especially from the engineering team, which who also like wants to improve. So we try to like cross the language barrier in that kind of event and stuff. Yeah, and also the engineering team does not completely it's not completely non-Japanese speaker. There's also like Japanese speaker. So even within the engineering discussion, because sometimes we have to like, if you saw our section or like Japanese people speaks in Japanese, and then like the English speaking people replies in English. So it's really amazing on like even with the language barrier, we managed to like work productively.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to ask next about just the high employee retention at Givery. I know that Givery has quite a high employee retention just compared to most other companies. Do you have an idea of why that is?
Yeah, I think it goes back to the I don't know, like the personality of the team again. Like there's like at least until now I haven't seen some negative thing. Like of course like engineering process and stuff like that. There's always room of improvement, but from like the company culture, the work culture, we try to like. There's no such thing like too much overwork here. So I don't think there's like a good reason to leave this company unless other company like I would just say bluntly like offer you higher and you want to pursue that, of course. But other than that, I haven't seen like the deal breaker that you want to leave. That's maybe why the retention is high here.
Is there anything you want the audience to know about Givery that they wouldn't know just outside looking in?
Yeah, I've heard like most questions from my colleagues or like my junior that ask like if they want to, like, especially for international engineers, if they want to like work in a Japanese company, they're afraid that they will ended up in working for a black company where you're like working like overtime all the time without like the right benefits.
Sure.
So I just want to say that Givery as a company is far from that kind of company, so you don't have to worry about that. Yeah.
Great. I guess like lastly, like during your software developer career, what have you learned about what it means to be a better software developer?
Yeah, actually I had some like a bit dilemma of like about being a software engineer itself, like what is actually like being the best of like, but I don't think we should like compare ourselves to like, hey, I'm a front-end engineer and that other front-end engineer is doing far better than us. So it's more like we should like think more about like being the best version of ourselves and make sure that you're still enjoying it. I personally, I did some like a bit hesitate if I want to like pursue this career like as a long-term employment like career thing, like as a software engineer. But I managed to like, especially in this company, I managed to revive my not really passion, but like my why I like this career. It's because like it's the closest thing to magic, I think. Like you build something like through code, and then that code turns out to something tangible that other people can use. So yeah, it's really fun. So what I learned is that if you enjoy engineering, if you want to like improve yourself, don't compare yourself, but more like try to learn gradually every day and be the best version of yourself. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Enreina. Yeah. That was Enreina from Givery. She's a front-end engineer. Thank you so much for your time. I thought that was wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you.